As a magic action, present your holy symbol, speak a prayer centering undead creatures. Each undead within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. Fails it safe, frightened, incapacitated. Effect ends early if the creature takes any damage. You have the incapacitated condition or you die. So they don't run away from you anymore. Which, I mean, I don't remember. Was the running away still in the previous version of this? If the creature fails its saving throw, it is dazed for a minute. Yeah, it used to be able to run the fuck away. It used to be dazed, which I think is a keyword they got rid of. So now it's just like, it has the frightened and incapacitated conditions. Woohoo! Okay. Sure, they can't take actions and reactions, and they have disadvantage on any attacks they make? Okay. They don't run away from you anymore, I guess. Subclass. Life domain, light domain, trickery domain, and war domain. So we're legitimately getting 4 fucking subclasses for each of these? Jesus. Oh, I never actually noticed that, like, a subclass specialization grants you special abilities at certain cleric levels the rest of your career. Again, each of your subclasses features that are of your cleric level or lower. Sure. I mean, an explanation of, I guess. Gain the ability score improvement. Sure. We already knew that. Smite Undead. Use your turn undead feature to smite the undying. Whenever you use your turn undead, you can roll a number of d8s equal to your wisdom modifier, a minimum of 1d8. Add the rolls together. Each undead that fails its saving throw against the use of turn undead takes radiant damage equal to the roll's total. This damage does not end the turn effects. Oh, right. Yeah. So now technically you're using turn undead and smite undead at the same time, right? Yeah, okay. Sure. Sure. I mean, that's fine. I mean, it used to be destroy undead if they were lower than a certain CR, but I think they're getting rid of CR in the player's handbook. Because I think that's one thing that I'm like wondering about, which we're gonna have to wait until we get like a Dungeon Master revision, I guess. Dungeon Master Guide's revision or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it. Because I'm wondering how they're gonna do CR in the future. / if they're gonna stick. To be fair, I'm starting to get the feeling that they're gonna stick to CR, but I think they want to eliminate CR from these books as much as possible because nobody uses CR anymore. Like, you know, I mean, nobody's probably putting it on very thick, but like, CR's not great. That's the core of the issue. Subclass feature, sure. Blessed Strikes. Get one of the following options of your choice. Once on you. So you just pick one, right? Okay. You gain one of the following options of your choice. So Divine Strike, one on each of your turns. When you hit a creature with an attack with a weapon, you can cause the target to take an extra 1d8 necrotic or radiance. Or you can add your wisdom modifier to the damage you deal with any divine cantrip. I mean, I think here's the thing. On average, a d8 is 4.5. Potent spellcasting. At this level, one more level becomes +5 usually, because usually you're going to try to get 20 wisdom by level 8. So at that point, technically, potent spellcasting is like on average half a point better. Not counting like attack and saves and whatnot. Apart from the fact, of course, that this can crit, and I don't think any of the divine cantrips can crit. I'm pretty sure, because I think you have like Sacred Flame, Toll the Dead, which are both saves. I think that's it. So if there is a attack roll cantrip, then I think this is technically better, because this is still once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with an attack. So you can't like do 2d8 necrotic or radiant if you hit them twice. If you like take a subclass that gives you multiple attacks or whatever, or with like the war cleric feature if that's still in there. So I mean they're a match for one another pretty much, because here you kind of get to choose the damage type, whereas here it's very much dependent on the damage that you're already dealing. So, you know, if you pick Sacred Flame here and you happen to face off against someone that's like resistant / immune to radiant damage, then here you can't change your damage type. Right? You're still dealing radiant damage, so that +5 of your wisdom is going to get cut in half on resisted, or is going to become nothing on immune. Whereas here, you can kind of pick every single time, I assume. I would assume this is every single time. Yeah. You get either option from another source. You use only the option you chose for this feature. Huh? Wait, what's... If you get either option from another source, you use only the option you chose for this feature. Wait, so if you get potent spellcasting from another class, you can't get Divine Strike? Am I reading that right? Because that would be dumb. That would be so stupid. Fuck, okay, yeah, sure. Okay. Ability score improvement. 8 commune. In the past, you've reached the divine source of your power through prayer. You also have brief conversations. You always have commune prepared. Okay, sure. Sure, that's fine, I guess. Call on your deity or pantheon to intervene on your behalf. As a magic action, choose any divine spell of 5th level or lower that doesn't require a reaction to cast. Part of the same action, you can cast its spell without expending a spell slot or needing material components. You then can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. Wait, so we got rid of the 10% chance to ask your god for anything. Which, to be fair, I get why they got rid of that. It's a very open-ended kind of a thing, although they are giving you free commune, which, to be fair, it's a very open-ended thing, and people tend to think because it's like a divine intervention and a god is giving it to you, you should be able to like destroy the world, quote unquote. So I kind of get it that they got rid of it. Choose any divine spell 5th level or lower that doesn't require a reaction to cast. Wait, does that mean you can cast ritual spells as an action? Because it doesn't say anything about like... It doesn't say shit about anything else. Like... It doesn't say anything about like how long the casting time needs to be. So like, hold on. Let's just give me a second, right? I'm gonna look something up. Let's say, for example, yeah, scrying. Casting time 10 minutes. You could technically cast scrying as an action without using 1,000 gold pieces. I don't know how I feel about that. Doesn't require a reaction to cast, so you're like getting rid of stuff like guidance and whatnot. Which then again doesn't even fucking matter. Let me put it like this. I don't know if this means you need to keep the casting time into consideration like this. I'm probably going to look into the glossary in a minute and have to look into that. But if that's the case, even if that's not the case, because pretty much this means two things. This means you can cast spells that aren't on your spell list, that you haven't prepared, which is great. And this means that you can pretty much... This is a 5th level spell slot, literally, although it doesn't act like a 5th level spell slot. I'm assuming if you cast a 1st level spell with this, you're still going to be casting a 1st level spell. But pretty much this means you can like cast... You can just cast Mass Cure Wounds without having to use a 5th level spell slot, which is ridiculous. Fuck, okay. This is good. I think as a feature, this is good. Whether or not it's a good thing that they got rid of the original Divine Intervention, I'm going to leave that in the middle. I understand from a design perspective why they would do it. However sad it makes me, because it makes for some cool role-playing moments. I think Divine Intervention is like one of those cool little abilities. Although I do seem to remember... Yeah, have been redesigned to allow for reliable results, which apparently was one of the most requested changes. So I'm guessing a lot of people are going to be happy with Divine Intervention being gone. I guess, I would assume. Is this better? I mean, it's a mini wish if you think about it. Ability score improvement, sure. Improved Blessed Strikes. The option you chose for Blessed Strikes. You now deal 2d8 damage. Whenever you cast a Divine Cantrip, deal damage to a creature with it. You can give Vitality to you or another creature within 60 feet of yourself, granting number of temporary hit points equal to twice your Wisdom modifier. So really, potent spellcasting becomes... It's really just dependent on what you do most of the time, right? If you make melee attacks, Divine Strike is probably better. If you cast spells, then potent spellcasting is probably better. Once you're a high-level cleric, you don't use low-level spell. You really use cantrips anymore at some point, however, so... Well, that's not true. If you have a long adventuring day, that's not true, but still. I think they're both fine. 16, sure. 17, subclass. 19, ability score. 20. The one we were waiting for. You're able to call on even more powerful Divine Intervention. When you use your Divine Intervention, you can choose Wish. If you do so, you can't use Divine Intervention again until you finish 2d4 long rests. You're immune to the stress. No. I seem to remember this being in another one. Didn't Sorcerer get this? Fuck, you're kidding. Yep. Arcane Apotheosis. You are now suffused with magic that you can alter reality of itself. You always have the Wisp spell prepared. If you undergo the spell's casting stress, you have no chance of losing the ability to cast a spell. In addition, you can cast Wish to replicate a spell of 1st through 8th level without expending a 9th level spell slot. What the hell? Just why? Wait, when it says when you cast Wish with this feature, you're immune to the stress cost, does that mean you're still able to lose casting of the spell? Does that mean you still have a 33% chance of losing the spell? Because that's the one thing. Like, because that's the thing, right? Like, the sorcerer feature that I just read specifically says if you undergo the spell's casting stress, you have no chance of losing the ability to cast a spell. Oh, but like the casting stress is probably... Wait, how is Wish worded? Oh god. The stress of casting the spell to produce... Yeah. The 33% chance that you're unable to cast the spell... is part of the stress, I think. If you suffer this stress. So... I wish for infinite wishes? I mean... Oh, so we're pretty much admitting that Sorcerer and Cleric's capstone abilities are you wish for infinite wishes? What does this mean if you've already cast Wish at some point and you lost the ability to cast it? Does that mean you can now cast it again? Oh, fuck. I hope they just remove Wish from the spell lists. Was Wish... Wait, hold on. Was Wish still on the spell lists? I actually don't know. Hold up. Arcane spell... It should be... No, it is. Wish was still on the spell list back at that point. Because, I'm sorry, this doesn't make... Like, what happens... What happens if you've cast Wish before this? Like, let's say that you become level 17. This would technically be on Sorcerer, because I don't think you can take Wish as Cleric at level 17. But let's say for a second... Or let's say that you cast it through a scroll or something. I don't fucking know. Let's say that there's a way for you to cast Wish at level 18. And you lose the ability to cast Wish. Does that mean this feature becomes useless or not? Like, you know. We're just giving Wish to everybody now, I guess. Like, even fucking Wizard. Wizard can ritual cast Wish. Because they can modify the spell and they can ritual cast Wish. Here, take 10 minutes. Don't use a spell slot. Cast it infinitely. Although technically they don't get infinite wishes because they still have the stress. God fucking damn it.